In December 2023, I visited Gran Canaria for a holiday. Whilst there, I hired an electric bike from the Free Motion Bike Centre attached to the very excellent Gloria Palace San Agustin Hotel. I had so much fun, I decided to repeat the experience on Tenerife in March 2024. So, what did I learn? Keep watching to find out. Okay, let's start with the e-bike. The e-bike I hired in Gran Canaria was a Specialized Turbo Vado 3.0, which I got on really well with. It's a good compromise between on and off-road since it has reasonably smooth tyres, but also front suspension so it can take care of bumps. I wouldn't ride it over seriously rocky ground, but it can cope with unpaved roads. It also has mud guards to prevent that muddy stripe up your backside should it rain. Believe it or not, it does sometimes rain in the Canary Islands. It also has a rack which can take panniers. It seems that I am in a minority in that I like to carry stuff such as wallet, water, food, camera equipment, sun cream, even shopping when cycling, and not on my back. I didn't have panniers in Gran Canaria, but I had one in Tenerife. It has a 530 watt-hour battery, which isn't too bad. I had no problems in Gran Canaria, but if you are cycling more than 40 miles, especially up mountains, something more like 725 watt-hours gives you a bit more of a safety margin. The one thing that bothers me, and I am in a minority, is that there isn't a lot of adjustment on the handlebars. I am somewhat porky, which is why I didn't even consider a road bike, and I like a more upright riding position. Back in my youth you could adjust handlebar height on pretty much all bikes, just like you can on the saddle, but for some reason, maybe weight, this feature seems to be missing from many modern bikes. So, when I went to Tenerife, I was looking for another Turbo Vado 3.0, but with a bigger battery. In the event, they didn't have a Turbo Vado, so they offered me a Cannondale Trail Neo 1, mainly because it has a 750 watt-hour battery, which I think I needed. However, it is a bit of a compromise. It has no mudguards or rack, although Free Motion did manage to fit a rack for me, and it has fairly knobbly tyres. This is very much a mountain bike, not a hybrid. I was okay with the knobbly tyres because I had intended to do a little off-road cycling, but in the event most of my cycling was on the road, and thankfully it didn't rain. I was more than happy with it. It cost me €36 a day to hire, plus extra for a helmet, the rack and insurance. I flew in on a Jet 2 plane from Newcastle Airport in the UK, and Jet 2 laid on a coach to take me to my hotel at Costa Adeje, which is pronounced Areje by Spaniards apparently. I stayed at the GF Isabel Hotel / Resort, really very comfortable. I stayed in a small apartment with a bathroom, a lounge kitchen area with a 2-ring hob, an oven, a microwave and a fridge, plus a reasonably good selection of pots, pans, crockery and cutlery. Some slightly odd choices though. No cereal bowls at all, but I did have an electric lemon squeezer. I guess lemons are more important to the Spanish than breakfast cereal. It also has a balcony overlooking the inside of the resort, which seems to have been modelled on a film set for a Zorro film. But enough of this. What about the cycling, I hear you say? Well, the next morning I decided to walk to Free Motion in Los Cristianos, but it was hot, so in the end I caught a bus. These accept contactless payments, which is a great help. Got to the shop, picked up the bike, helmet, pump, mini toolkit and charger and headed off back to the hotel.
In 50 meters, at the roundabout, take the first exit onto Avenida Rafael Puig Jubina. Exit the roundabout onto Avenida Rafael Puig Jubina. Continue on Avenida Rafael Puig Jubina for 1.5 kilometers.
You can probably tell that I was using Google Maps to navigate. It's pretty good, but if you select cycling as the means of transport, it tends to suggest routes on quieter roads. This is good, but unfortunately in Tenerife this usually means you end up ploughing slowly through thousands of tourists on the seafront. On the other hand, if you select car transport, then you run the risk of ending up on the busiest roads, such as the TF1, which doesn't permit bicycles. Let me fast wind through this bit to show you an example of the problem. Up until now I've been cycling along a road, albeit a fairly narrow one-way street, but now it sort of turns into a semi-pedestrianised area with cobbles to keep everything nice and slow. It's probably about 9:30 in the morning here, so it isn't too crowded, but later in the day I would probably be moving very slowly, if at all. And now we are back on a road, so I will engage warp factor 8. Back at the hotel, so I padlock the bike to a flagpole and go to stow the charger in my room. Speaking of padlocks, that is another slight problem. When you hire the bike, you can take out insurance, but this only covers you for damage. It does not for theft, and you are supposed to keep the bike within sight at all times. I didn't fancy paying over £4,000 if the bike got nicked, so I took out some more insurance to cover it for theft. A company named Yellow Jersey is one of the few companies that will insure hire bikes. I'm not sponsored by them. But their conditions state that the bicycle must be padlocked to an immovable object through the frame using an approved padlock, which essentially means a big heavy U-shackle, which I brought with me. But it all adds weight to the bike. More on this later. I wanted to take a look at La Caldera del Rey. Looking for a viewpoint overlooking the extinct volcano, I spotted Mirador del Bujo. Looked like a good test of my bike's hill climbing abilities. So it's straight up the hill and over the little bridge over the TF1. That is the TF1. Side. There we go, that's it going the other way. That's heading north. dear, the viewpoint appears to have become a building site. Never mind, on to the next viewpoint. Oh dear, battery died. But I got there. Okay, I am currently at the Mirador de Fanabe. Those, I believe, are bananas over there. I'm just trying out my Tascam strapped to my chest. See how well that works. Got the furry thing on it, so I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go now, but I think I'll go down the other side. Yeah, I think I'll just head for Playa de las Americas, which is an extremely touristy bit. With any luck I can avoid the TF1. Anyway, off we go. It has to be said that walking around Playa de las Americas is not all that much fun. It's not that it's downright unpleasant, and they clearly go to a lot of trouble to keep it clean and populated with palm trees, but it's just so darned busy. But if you can overlook the endless shops and cafes, it is a good place to find yet another hyperdino and get something to eat and drink, which I did. Then I set off for nearby Puerto Los Cristianos to see if I could figure out where I catch the ferry to La Gomera, an island about 47 kilometres from Tenerife. Not a terribly attractive route, so back to warp factor 8. You may notice that I'm pushing my bike at this point. There's a reason for this. Google Maps was telling me to turn right and I just wasn't seeing it. Turns out it was taking the scenic route down a little alleyway, and not for the last time. I have to say I felt a little guilty cycling here, but I didn't see any signs saying I couldn't, and Google Maps is always right. And here comes another scenic route. This one's a cracker. Turn left, says Google. What, here? Says I. Well, don't be down the right anytime soon here.
In 50 meters, turn right onto Avenida La Habana. Turn right onto Avenida La Habana, then turn left onto Calle Nordica.
What? Right, at some point. Well, that was certainly scenic, sort of, but I think on balance I would have preferred to take the road. Anyway, this is where I catch the ferry to La Gomera. Since I was there, I thought I would have a look around Los Cristianos harbour. I didn't make use of the Viking ship, but later in the week I did catch the Armas ferry, which you can just see here, to La Gomera. On the return journey, I caught the Fred Olsen ferry. Can you see that high ground in the distance? That is Montana de Guaza, another extinct volcano. I did have some idea of cycling to the top. It looks pretty easy in the aerial view on Google Maps. It isn't. I went and had a look and found no easy access for bicycles and steep narrow paths covered with rocky shards and lined with cacti. I thought better of it. Might be fun on foot though. Instead I went back to the hotel. Bit of a problem regarding the e-bike. I had known months before arriving that I would need to keep it in my room or on the balcony, and had specifically asked if I would be able to do this. They had said that would be fine. I needed to do this because firstly, the conditions of hire state that the bicycle must never be out of my sight. Secondly, because I would need to recharge the battery and keep an eye on it. It had a Bosch battery and charger, which should be quite safe, but I'm sure you've all seen video of charging bikes and scooters going up in a shower of sparks, so I wanted to be cautious. Thirdly, my theft insurance insists that it is locked through the frame to an immovable object. So, when I got there, the bike would not fit in the lift and my apartment was on the 3rd floor. When I asked if there was a way to get the bicycle to my room, I was told I could not keep my bike in my room and it would have to go in the luggage room. Not ideal. Nothing really secure to padlock the frame to. I had to use an extension cable, thereby invalidating any insurance claim, and the hotel were not going to take any responsibility. It also meant that I had to leave the bike charging for a few hours and then come back to retrieve the charger, since I didn't consider it totally safe to leave it charging all night. Think about how you are going to store and charge your e-bike if you do what I did. Try and get everything in writing. Never mind. For my evening meal, I fried up an onion and some chorizo and served it with pasta and a can of Dorada Pilsen from the fridge before taking some snaps as the sun went down over the sea. Another day dawns, and this is where the fun really starts. Today I'm going to Villa Flor, which at 1400 metres is the highest village on Tenerife, so that should be a good test for the e-bike.
Turn right towards Avenida de Bruselas, then turn left onto Avenida de Bruselas. Turn left onto Avenida de Bruselas. In 100 meters, then the roundabout, take the first exit onto Calais.
If I can just butt in here to say that this is possibly the most terrifying roundabout I tackled. It lies due north of Los Cristianos, where Avenue Juan Carlos I approaches the TF1. I messed it up completely, taking completely the wrong exit, but thankfully I didn't end up on the TF1, which really would have been terrifying and illegal, since the TF1 and TF2 and TF5 are all autopistas, i.e. motorways. time for a quick break, I think, outside the entrance to Jungle Park. Right, that's enough of that. Let's press on. This would appear to be an unnamed viewpoint, or mirador, roughly halfway between Jungle Park and the town of Arona. But we can do better than this. Onwards.
In 200 meters, turn right onto Calais Chasagua.
This is another example of Google taking the scenic route. Just up the road and around the corner, it instructs me to turn right, foregoing the TF51 for a minor road that leads to Arona's cemetery before rejoining the TF51. just coming into Arona now. Believe it or not, this is the administrative centre with responsibility for Los Cristianos and Playa de las Americas on the coast. My guidebook describes it as sleepy, which seems fairly accurate, but it does have a supermarket and it's open. Having stocked up on snacks and water, I had a brief look around the square. This is Eduardo Dominguez Afonso, who lived from 1840 until 1923. He was born in Arona and became a doctor and surgeon, studying in Lisbon, London, Paris and Berlin before returning to Tenerife. He was also the first president of the Cabildo Insular de Tenerife that governs Tenerife. There's also a square surrounded by palms and pines, I think. Down near the coast it's pretty dry and the plant life tends to consist of palm trees and cacti, but up here you can see patches of green, and above Villaflor they have a famous fat pine, Pinot Gordo, which is said to be 800 years old and has a trunk with a circumference of 9.8 metres. The town square also has a mural depicting days gone by. Presumably this was before they built the TF51 and you got here along the ridiculously steep and narrow roads that Google favours when plotting a bicycle route. Well, time to get going again.
Turn left onto Calle Duque de la Torre. In 200 meters, continue onto Calle de San Antonio. Continue onto Calle de San Antonio, then slight left onto Camino Real de Alta Vista.
Slightly left.
Slight left onto Camino Real de Alta Vista. In 600 meters, turn left onto Calais Camino Real.
Whew.
the sun.
right onto Camino del Ariendo.
Really? Yeah, that's right.
In 500 meters, turn right onto Carretera General, TF51.
Hello, what's this? A Centro Artisania? I wonder if they do food. It must be nearly time for lunch. Oh, fiddlesticks. Well, at least I can lean my bike against the sign whilst I have a drink. And then, as if by magic, it opened. Not much in the way of food, but I managed a Coke Zero and a packet of crisps. This place is called Mar de Nubes, or Sea of Clouds, and sells all manner of locally made stuff. But now for the final ascent. Well, I made it. Time for a look around, I guess. After I had an ice cream, of course.
You have arrived.
I have arrived. Hurrah! Right, we're back now. Oh look, the Church of St. Peter, which was founded as a hermitage in 1533 and became the parish church in 1568. That building in the distance, so a sign informs me, is the Sola house, where the members of the Sola de Padilla family lived from the 16th to the 19th century. Pedro Sola was responsible for founding the village. Looks like it needs a bit of attention. The full name of the village is Villaflor de Chasna, and there is a tall tale as to why it is so named. Firstly, you need to know that the region is known as Chasna. One of the first Spanish conquerors, Captain Bracamonte, fell in love with a Guanche woman and held her captive. The Guanches were the original inhabitants of the island before the Europeans invaded. However, the woman escaped and the captain took it badly and would cry out, "Vi la flor de Chasna," which means, "I saw the flower of Chasna." This building, just across the road from the Church of St. Peter, is the sanctuary of the Santo Hermano Pedro. It was started in 1776 but was left unfinished in the 19th century. Work restarted in 1991 and finally completed in 2002, 226 years after it started. A long time, but Cologne Cathedral beats it, taking 632 years to be completed. Okay, mission accomplished. Time to head back. This will be somewhat quicker than the outward journey, I think. I'll spare you the whole thing since you saw some of it in the introduction.
Turn right onto Calle Dolores, then Calle Dolores turn slightly left and becomes Avenida Hermano Pedro.
Right, you've seen this, so I shall skip ahead. This is Arona. That's the one with the supermarket and the mural, if you remember. This is where I turn off the TF51 to head towards Jungle Park. Bye bye you two. Watch out for the interesting overtake just after the road junction. He only just made that. I'm going down the right hand side of Jungle Park this time. On the way out I came up on the other side. For some reason, the woman in my phone has stopped speaking to me, so I shall pause to get my bearings.
Turn right onto Calais Armitage, then turn right onto the TF28 Sloop Road.
Nope, she's back. Okay, off we go again. Have to admit, this next road junction had me a bit stumped for a second. I thought I was going straight onto the roundabout under the bridge, and I made a bit of a mess of it. Major screw up here. I wanted to turn left and head towards the seafront to get something to drink, so I went for the second exit on the roundabout, only to find out when I got there that it was one way and no entry. Can't say I saw any signs warning me of this before I reached the roundabout.
Exit the roundabout onto Avenida de los Pueblos. In 300 meters, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Avenida de España. Exit the roundabout onto Avenida de los Pueblos.
Right, we'll do that then.
In 150 meters, turn right to stay on Avenida Eugenio Dominguez Alfonso.
This is pretty horrible, so I think we'll skip it. So then I headed back to the hotel, not really ready for my tea yet, so I thought I would try the seafront down by the Playa del Duque. The Duke in question is, I believe, the Duke of Abrantes, who built Casa del Duque between 1931 and 1936. This is a large, dark building on a cliff overlooking the coast. Very busy. Had to push my bike. Best thing to do is look out to sea. Got fed up pushing my bike, so I decided to head inland to find a road. I think this is meant to be the upmarket end of town. This hotel on the left is the Royal Hideaway Corrales Suites GL and was designed by the Tenerife architect Leonardo Omar to look like a cruise liner. Impressive. The only other thing of interest was this. See that slightly spotty wet patch just beyond the pink paving stones? I didn't. No real harm done, so back to the hotel.
Wipes in paradise. Wipes in paradise. In paradise.
Can I have the key to the luggage room, please? Thanks. Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you might like to like, subscribe and click that little notification bell. Bye!